morning, everybody. Come and take a seat, be it in Swastikasana with the legs crossed, or for today I'm going to take a preference of sitting into Virasana, spreading the toes and ensuring that the top of the feet come to evenly rest on the floor, particularly the little toe side of the foot. Quieten the tops of the feet and allow the center of the shin bones to come and rest, taking that support of the earth as the earth supports and holds you. Release the the buttock flesh, drawing it back so the buttock bones are exposed. Bring your palms into Atmanjali Mudra. Soften the shoulders. Quieten the shoulder blades onto the back body. And rest the hands one into the other. Bringing your trunk into a vertical, dignified position. Allowing the top of the hips to align with the lower ribs. The pelvic floor, the perineal area, to align with the crown of the head. As the eyes softly come closed, allow the top eyelids to rest on the bottom. As you allow the tongue to rest into the floor of the mouth. Breathe smooth, soft, even. As you breathe in, as you breathe out. Mind coming to rest in the breath. Becoming outwardly stable, still. Inwardly still, quiet. Soft internal chants of the arm with each exhalation. Allowing the internal vibrations to flow through every cell of the body. Completing your next out breath. Let the breath return to normal. Bow your head to your heart. And make your own internal acknowledgements. Press the back of your hands onto your inner knees or your thighs. Raise your head, open your eyes. And once more, good morning, welcome. First and foremost, have a sense of inner contentment, a sense of friendliness towards your practice. Coming to turn on your mat and be in Adho Mukha Virasana. Rest the buttocks onto the heels. Rest once more the shins deep into the floor, and from settling the buttock bones down, ease the side ribs, ease the arms forward and rest your head. Lengthen the whole of the rib cage away from the hip girdle. As the upper buttocks draw back and the buttock bones descend, let the whole of the rib cage move forward. Settle your shoulders into the shoulder socket to open the armpits and pump your armpits down. Move your shoulder blades onto your back. So feel some life coming into your shoulders. And then come up. Take one of your belts for this morning. We're going to be I'm giving you 3 variations to be able to do this particular first part of this pose, or the poses, going from as such stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. So stage 1 is taking your belt as wide as your shoulders, putting your belt just above your elbow joint. And just like we do in Shirshasana, you want to interlock the fingers so that the fingers wrap around the back of the hands and you create a bowl shape with the palms. So you're going to come kneeling down on all fours. Ensure that the shoulder joint once more is moving, the shoulder moving into the joint so that the shoulder slightly behind the elbow joint. So you're opening your armpits. So this variation one, the head descending, the head will be slightly off the floor, lifting the hips, lifting the thighs, and walking in as best you can. And from there, raising one leg up, bringing it down, raising the other leg up, bringing it down. So that's position variation one. Okay. The second one is you take your chair, you put your chair up against the wall for security, bring your hands to the floor, and then you're going to step your feet onto the edge of the chair. So a little bit higher, pump open the armpits, and from there, one leg up, bring it down, other leg up, bring it down. And you're not going to be staying, as you can see, it's a constant movement. The third one, the variation is, and this is stage 3, coming into Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. I'm going to be doing this, and we're going to be doing 4 to each leg. So in other words, 8 of those elbow balances, or 8 from the chair, or 8 full arm balances. Don't stay. It's like a constant flow, a constant windmill. So let's begin. I'm going to be doing full arm balance, and it's about the movement. It's about getting some life, some vitality back into the body. Shoulders into the socket, open your armpits, inhale, and as you exhale, come up. Right leg down, come up. Left leg up, left leg down. Keep going. Don't stay. Breathe. When you've done your 4, part your feet and rest, Uttanasana. If you need the chair, fold your arms on the chair. Just breathe. Breathe into the back ribs, the lower front ribs. Give yourself space to breathe into the lower lungs. From there, come up. We're going to be doing a few rounds of Surya Namaskar. So come and stand at the front of your mat. Feet together, Tadasana. Once more, aligning the ribs with the hips. Drawing up the thighs. Bring your arms up, Urdhva Namaskar. So you inhale. As you exhale, Utkatasana. Long upper buttocks, deep abdomen. Sit yourself down as low as you can. Inhale as you exhale, Uttanasana. Lift your head, step your right leg back, step your left leg back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Space between the ribs and the hips. Breathe into that whole thoracic diaphragm. Inhale, come forwards, Palakasana. Exhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift the hips, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right leg forward, exhale, left leg forward, Uttanasana. Big circle with your arms as you come up. Urdhva Namaskar, exhale, Namaskar. We're going to be doing 7 more. Inhale, Utkatasana. Come up, Uttanasana. Lift your head, long front body, left leg back, right leg back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward, Palakasana.
Urdhva Mukha Svanasana.
Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe, let the breath be deep. Left leg forward, right leg forward, Uttanasana. Arms wide. Namaskar. Breathe. Use the breath, moving into the pose with an inhalation, pausing in the pose for the exhalation. Urpanamaskar, Utkatasana. And the exhale, Uttanasana. Long front body, step back, left leg, right leg, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Palakasana,
Urdhva Mukha Svanasana.
Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg forward, right leg, breathe out. Urpanamaskar. 4 more. Let the breath be deeper, fuller, longer, sharper. Make it even, make it regular, make it smooth. Two more. Open the armpits. Breathe into the middle lungs as you do that. Last one. Come into Uttanasana. Step your right leg, step your left leg back, and bend your knees. Adho Mukha Virasana. Rest your arms, rest your forehead onto the back of your palms. Let go completely. Let go even the breath. Let the breath just follow its own course that it needs to now. Allowing the heart rate to settle, the breath to settle. Bring your hands under your shoulders, come up. Take whatever support you need for supporting your head in Uttanasana. So have your feet as wide as the sticky mat, taking your support as close to the big toes so that you allow yourself to fold in half. Hands onto a support. So please, if this is too low for you, one of the options is to take your chair, put your hands on your chair, if needs be a brick or whatever, so that the crown of the head completely supported. Legs vertical. Uttanasana. Supported so that once more the breathing can settle, the head can release and quieten. Sattvic, quiet mind. Breathe. Release the back of the neck so that the base of the skull feels it's flowing off the spine. And that point where you do Shishasana, headstand, is resting onto the support. So slightly tucking in the chin. A little more onto the back of the head in a way. Extend the arms forward, coming up. Prepare yourself for Shishasana. I'm going to face forward towards the camera for today. For those of you that need the wall, please go right up to the wall, ensuring that your fingers touch the wall. If you need that belt, you are welcome to take it to keep the elbows in line with the shoulders. Okay? And coming up into headstand, Shishasana. Taking whatever support you need. Coming up with bent legs, coming up with straight legs, but bring the shoulders deep into the shoulder socket. Open your armpits, lift your shoulder blades so that by the time the legs come from the floor, you've already set up the shoulders, the arms. Settle the outer wrists down so that you can lift the shoulders. Press the outer elbow points down to draw the shoulders back into the shoulder socket. And press your inner elbows as if slightly magnetized towards each other. I so often say like you're holding a big ball. And spread the collarbones, the upper shoulder blades. From that stability, part your legs and lift your heels right from your shoulder blades. Lift up. 2 parallel lines, drawing backwards. Upper buttocks, calves, heels, up to the ceiling. Bring the tail towards the pubis and the pubis towards the tailbone to find an alignment in the perineum. And then bring your feet together. Rolling the inner thighs back. Lengthen from those inner groins all the way up through the inner knees, through the inner heels. Breathe. Let the breath find a state of Shavasana, even although you're in Shishasana. And just like you were in Uttanasana, allow yourself to ever so slightly come a little further into the back of the head. So the back of the head rests into the hands, and that point that you're on the crown of your head, go a little, dare to go a little further back, 1/2 millimeter, so that you allow the front body to come and settle
in the back body. Become outwardly stable and still. Inwardly still, quiet. One variation in this pose, Ekapada Shirshasana. Keep extending your left leg up and bring the right leg away and down. Ekapada, 1 foot in Shirshasana. So you want to bring this foot as if towards the floor. Compact your outer hips so that as you lengthen through the back of the legs, that the hips remain aligned, sacrum aligned, even if you only come to 90 degrees. Soften the toes. Extend, especially into your inner heels. Raise your right leg up. Shoulders into the socket. Pump open the armpits. Shoulder blades onto the back and up. Firm up your legs once more. Ekapada Shirshasana. Compact the hips like you've got a tight belt around those hips. And from there, extend through the back of the legs. Front thighs settle to the thigh bone. And raise the right leg up. And for these last 30 seconds, allow yourself to be in that still, stable, effortless space. And your buttocks extend through to the heels, front thighs to back thighs. Keep rolling the inner groins, the outer hips to the ceiling. Press your feet away from you. Pause for a moment. Urdhva Dandasana, upward facing rod. And slowly move up. Out your knees, and just like you did earlier on, rest your forehead onto the back of your hands. Adho Mukha Virasana. And sitting up, bring your knees together. If you need to, sit on a chair if it's more comfortable. And from there, interlock your fingers. I'm going to shift a little back for you. Interlock your fingers behind the back, broaden the collarbones, and just ease the hands back and down, aligning the ribs with the hips. Just spread the collarbones and bring your chin to your chest. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. And then from there, just raise your head to maybe 30 degrees, wherever it works for you, but you're releasing the back of the neck. Bring your head to neutral, change the interlock of your fingers, broaden the collarbones, draw the shoulders, the shoulder blades down the back, and bring your chin to your chest.
Gentle Jalandhara Bandha. Releasing tension in the shoulders, the back of the neck. And slowly raising the head to a comfortable position where there's space and length still in the back of the neck. And from there, release, let go. Come and set yourself up for Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. So, for me, I have the fortune of having all my props, my foams, my blankets. So please set up how you have done in the past few weeks, be it 3 blankets or your foams and 1 blanket. If you have the fortune of having bricks, please set them behind your support to be able to support the lower back as you go in and come out of the pose. So putting your bricks behind you, your sticky mat up and over, so that it's just slightly away from the edge, allowing movement, easy of the shoulders and stability of the elbows. Your belt should be in the right position already. I think maybe some of you done that first stage, otherwise adjust the belt. Come and lie down. And we're going to be doing a 10-minute shoulder stand today. You've done more or less a 5-minute headstand. So as you know, shoulder stand, double the headstand. But please, if it is too much for you, you remove your belt and you come down. We're going to be doing that same variation as we did in Shirshasana of Ekapada Shirshasana, where the one leg comes down and up. And then we're going to be doing Pajva, where the leg goes out to the side. Pajva, Ekapada, Savangasana. But first of all, have your belt handy, lie down, 1/3 of the neck onto your support. Shoulders onto the support, stretch your legs or bending your legs, whichever way you come into the pose. Come into Halasa, plow pose. Tuck your shoulders underneath you. One of the ways is to put your hands over your shoulders, press down and tuck the shoulders in. The other one is interlock your fingers behind your back. Put your belt on, just above the elbows, just like you did in that stage 1. Interlock your fingers and walk the feet ever so slightly away, so that the hips, outer hips, come in line with your shoulders. Pressing down onto the outer upper arms, tuck your shoulders a little more deeply underneath. Ease the back of the neck off the shoulders. Ease the base of the skull away from the top of the spine. Feel that crown of the head from Shirshasana, as if it's melting away from you. Roll your inner upper arms out. Press your outer upper arms, your outer elbows down, and lift through the side seams of the trunk. Lift the whole of the hip girdle away from the ribcage. By moving the front thighs firmly onto the thigh bone, you'll find that the stability and the firmness in the legs allows a lot of mobility in the spine and the trunk. Interlock your fingers the other way. So left index finger was on top, right index finger. Press down through the outer upper arms, allowing the inner upper arms to externally rotate.
Lengthen right from the upper buttocks, over the buttock bones through to your heels. Back of the legs long, firm. Front of the legs moving dynamically into the back. Breathe. And then bending up your elbows, same thing as you did in headstand. Press the outer elbows down to move the shoulders into their socket. They can press down. From there, take your hands to your upper back and ease the backwards. Ease the skin of the upper back up. Cut your index finger thumb into the backwards. And from there, stretching your legs away, come up. Sarvangasana. If you can, do both legs together. Good training to be able to begin to do it in Sheshasana. Now support the whole of your palm onto your back, especially the little finger side of your hand. That pad at the heel of the palm on the little finger side. Press it deeply into your back. Move the back ribs, the shoulder blades broadly into the back body. Move your middle buttocks deeply into the body so that you can move your front thighs to the back thighs more and more. And bring yourself vertically upwards. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, all aligned. Breathe. So the skin of the upper back wants to soften into the hands, but the muscles, the bony structure of the upper back, the ribs, they move into the body, away from the hands. Middle buttocks move deeply into the body and bring your front thighs back onto the thigh bone. Inner groins, move them back. Pin them onto their respective thigh bones and stretch dynamically through the inner legs. Feet are quiet, toes soft. Inner walls of the throat, broad, long, open. So breathing is easy. Tongue passive. Keeping your left leg absolutely stable. Extend the right leg away and down. Ekapada Sarvangasana. Compact your hips so that the sacrum remains aligned. It's no good bringing this leg to the floor and everything goes askew. Stretch into your right heel, left heel. Front thighs to back thighs. Raise your right leg up. Firming up the legs, extend the left leg away and down. Compact the hips. Alignment of the sacrum. Raise your left leg up. Readjust, coming to Sarvangasana. Turn your right leg up 45 degrees and extend the right leg away and down. Compact your hips. Front thighs to back thighs. Extend the back of the legs. Turn your abdomen as you breathe out from right to left. Extending through your inner heels, raise your right leg up. Inner thighs roll back. Pin those inner groins to the thigh bone. And now turn your left leg out. Parshva Ekapada Sarvamasa. Breathe. Check in on your breath. Is it stilted? Is it full and free? Raise the left leg up. One more minute. Find the outer stability, stillness, in a still quiet. From there, extend firmly through your heels. Front thighs resisting to the back thighs. Come into Halasana. Get the feet a little further away and be right on your tippy toes. Rest your arms like two cactus branches alongside the shoulders and firm up your legs. Have a little almost resting halasana. Take your hands onto your upper back once more, supporting your back. Lift your outer hips, front thighs to back thighs. Lengthen the back of the legs, key on the very tippy toes. Lengthen your upper buttocks, all the way up and over the sharpness of the buttock bones. Bring your hips in line with your ribs. Lift the hips mightily as you bring the spine deeply into the back. And then reaching your arms back towards your bricks, pressing into your heels. Keep your legs straight. Keep your legs resisting the coming down as the abdomen deepens forward and back. Resist the legs. It's like a flow of energy of the legs going towards the heels as the abdomen goes in the other direction. And it's a little game they play. Coming down gradually with control, slowly, slowly. When you reach the bricks, bend your legs. Let your head rest off the support and let the front of the neck flow open. So there's a lot of space in the inner walls of the throat to allow the thyroid, the parathyroid area to just have blood flush into it. Be here for a moment. Then when you feel ready, slide yourself ever so slightly off the support. So shoulders rest them to the floor.
and your shoulder, lower shoulder blades and backwards onto the support. Breathe. And when you are ready, roll over to the side, come up. Keep your support as it is. I am going to come and face forwards. If you sit on your support facing that way, so bend up your right leg, have your belt, you've got it from your pose, put the belt around the ball of the foot and come sitting for Janu Sheshasana. I'm going to demonstrate to the side. So, belt around the ball of the foot and come sitting so that the spine feels lifted, that the thoracic diaphragm feels spacious. And from there, just release the back of the neck and bring your chin to your chest. Have a deep inhalation. Hold the breath for a moment. Draw the pelvic floor all the way up to the sternal notch. Raise your head, let go the breath. Normal inhale, normal exhale. Once more. Tuck your chin to your chest. Breathe out. Have a deep inhale. Hold the breath. Tuck your chin in a little more deeply. Draw the pelvic floor to the sternal notch. Hold the breath. Raise your head, let go the breath, and release your right leg and tuck up your left leg. Belt around the ball of the foot for today. And you can see I'm not striving to go to the foot. It's more about just being where I can after my inversions. Shoulders away from the ears, chin to your chest, lift your sternum, breathe out, have a deep inhale. Hold the breath. Pull up the pelvic floor all the way, firmly, strongly to the sternal notch. Make it dynamic. Lift your head, let go the breath. Normal breathing. Readjust if you need to anything. Once more, chin to chest. Exhale, deep inhale. Hold the breath. Draw up the pelvic floor. Lift it dynamically, more to the sternal notch. Fire energy, lifting up. Raise your head, release the breath. Let go your leg. Just sit for a moment. And from there, take your support for Shavasana. We're going to have a fairly long Shavasana this morning. So, well, I'm going to advocate a long Shavasana for you. And rather just, if you could set a timer for yourself to be in Shavasana after this very dynamic, energetic practice, have a 10-minute Shavasana. So I'm going to set us up. I'm going to start it off and just quietly end the class. But you please set up a 10-minute Shavasana for yourself. So many ways to be in Shavasana. One is putting your legs on the chair, as you know, and for those of you with back issues, that is a wonderful way to do it. Otherwise, taking for today your blankets, your foams, whatever you used for shoulder stand, and making yourself a little bolster. So you have a setup like that. And from there, you bring yourself close to the bolster so the legs drape over the bolster. and the feet rest to the floor. Tuck your shoulders underneath you by gripping and pulling on the edge of the sticky mat. Bring your shoulder blades towards your support. Release the buttock flesh to your heels. Release your arms. Release your legs. Let go completely. Taking your breath, your exhalation in particular, to the whole of the abdominal cavity. And have a long, slow, focused exhalation. Pause at the end of the out breath. And then breathe in. And then another in breath. And then a long, slow, smooth exhalation. Breathing out completely. Have as many of those exhalations as you feel your body requires to let go any residual holding, pinching, tiredness. And then let go even the breath. Surrender yourself into Mother Earth. Feel how she rises up to meet, support, and hold you. And trusting completely in that support. Let go. Surrender. When you have completed your Shavasana, allow the legs to roll towards each other, putting your feet on the edge of the chair of the bolster. Let the back body sink into the earth, especially the lumbar. Extend your right arm over your head, roll onto the right, and stay here. Letting the sacrum spread, the body slowly coming back to life, mind coming back into this present space. Press down with your left hand, come sitting up, and cross your legs in Swastika-san, Sukhasana, palms in Atmanjali. Allowing yourself to be tall, dignified. Surrender the mind to the heart. Let your heart melt open. The sense of kindness to self, and deep gratitude for the ability to do this practice. Namaste.